due to play doubles at the Grass Court event at Queen's Club in London next week. In rugby union, Warren Gatland has been confirmed as head coach of the British and Irish Lions for a third time. Gatland will step down as the Wales coach after this year's World Cup, will take charge of the side in South Africa in 2021 after previously coaching the Lions in New Zealand and Australia. A top story again at the Women's World Cup. The host France have all but booked their place in the knockout phase after beating Norway 2-1 to make it 2 wins in 2 games. Germany beat Spain 1-0 to maintain their 100% record, while Nigeria beat South Korea 2-0. There's more sport at our website. That's bbc.com/sport.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Traffic congestion is bad for your mental health, bad for your wallet, and bad for the environment. Did you know that Cayman's carbon emissions per capita are nearly 4 times that of Europe, according to worlddata.info? Empty car seats are a wasted resource and contribute to traffic congestion. Carpooling is socially and environmentally friendly and can save you up to $1,000 per year in fuel and upkeep. Visit the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure Facebook page for more tips on energy-efficient commuting and be an energy advocate.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
I'm Carsley Fuller.
I'm Dion Anglin.
I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman's Information Hour, produced by April Cummings, Carsley Fuller, Dion Anglin, Shanda Gallegos. If you see news happening, contact our newsroom, 949-7799. Radio Cayman News, the ultimate in news and information.
I'm April Cummings with a quick recap of some of the day's top local stories. The Premier's chief officer temporarily steps aside from his post to focus instead on his role as supervisor of elections, activating teams required to verify the signatures on a petition by Cruiseport Referendum Cayman, an organization hoping to trigger a referendum. Cayman prepares to host the leaders of UK overseas territories and announces a new trade summit designed to put the OTs in the spotlight. Plus, the NRA rolls out a pilot program with an aim of making it safer for pedestrians to cross the street. They're getting ready to install lights and pedestrian crossings at the Cayman National Roundabout. That's a quick recap of some of the day's top local stories from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings. And remember, you can always catch us online at radiocayman.gov.ky.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Hello and welcome to For the Health of It. In the studio with me this evening is psychotherapist Marlene Guyong, and we are bringing you a super special series on healing the wounds of the soul right after these messages from our sponsors.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
The Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, CICSA, is an association that brings all government employees together at the workplace, social events, and in matters of concern common to all civil servants. For more information on how you can become a member or to read our story, visit us on www.cicsa.ky or on facebook.com/cicsa.ky. CICSA, connecting, informing, and engaging our membership.
We believe that every life matters, and we are all connected. One community, one people.
No matter where you live, Holy Cross Hospital of South Florida is breaking down the borders that should not exist in advanced healthcare.
At Holy Cross Hospital, we have opened our doors to the world, bringing you exceptional healthcare.
The multicultural staff features doctors and nurses providing top quality, compassionate healthcare while making patients feel at home.
Our Holy Cross International Services team provides guidance to patients and their families throughout their travel, accommodations, and recovery.
Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Your trusted health partner for life.
Learn more about Holy Cross Hospital. Email international@holy-cross.com or call 954-351-5906.
Live with pride. Live strong. Live with love. Live with hope. Live long. And be the best you can be.
The science doesn't lie. The key to achieving your health goals is through the proper knowledge of nutrition.
From moms to babies, kids to seniors, vegan to pro performance and wellness, GNC sets the standards in nutritional science.
Their experienced team of professionals are ready to support you in achieving your goals with 2 convenient locations in Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah and Queens Court on West Bay Road.
And join the GNC community and take advantage of their discount days, the first 7 business days of every month and every Wednesday.
Take control of your health and body today with GNC.
Believe in the power of nutrition.
Live well, GNC.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Hi, I'm in the studio with psychotherapist Marlene Gaillon, and we're going to be talking about this special series called Healing the Wounds of the Soul. Hi, Marlene.
Hello, Tara. Hello, everyone.
Yes. So we're on Facebook and YouTube. So there's a little craziness going on behind here. I'm super excited about this show, and I approached you many months ago.
You've been talking about it for a long time, yes.
And you asked me, well, Tara, why? Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick overview on why. In 2015, when I first became a coach, the wounds of the soul came up in a different way. It came up in the context that runs, the context in which we see life, that runs our background. Okay, and I was like, well, I understood certain things, like little things, like, you know, if you feel like you're not enough, you see this is how all these behaviors come up. And with the wounds of the soul...
So what you're saying, the way we feel influences the way we perceive the world.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This is... And this book by Lisa Bourdeau called...
Bobo. Yeah, Lise Bobo.
Yeah, she's French.
Yeah, that's it. Easier for me, right?
Right.
So, heal your wounds and find your true self.
Right.
That's the first one she wrote.
And so with this meant she says there are 5 wounds, and each one of those wounds has a mask. The wound of rejection has the mask of the fugitive or the withdrawer. Abandonment is the wound, and it has the mask of dependent. Humiliation has the mask of the masochist. Betrayal/treason is the dominator or the controller. Injustice is rigidity. And these masks is really the ego, how it protects itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So with coaching, we understand that people come from this. That's the lens in which they see the world. she goes many steps further, because these masks are formed at birth or conception, between conception and the ages of 6 or 8. You say it can even be longer.
Right.
Okay, and it's the parents of the opposite sex. And that's why it's important for me, because this show not only talks about our mass and the wounds, but hopefully gives people out there a bit of context. It's not the absolute truth. You will say that. But it also gives people an idea on where to go to try to heal and self-acceptance, right?
Okay. So for you, it was a good way to understand where people are coming from.
Yes.
And then give meaning to an experience that we go through.
Right.
And then help people see things and then move forward.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if people see things through the lens of green or red, that's how they react, red or green. All right.
Yeah.
So and tonight we're going to be talking about the mass of rejection. So if that's the context in which you see things, and the mass of the wound of rejection,
Is there something going on with the Facebook Live?
Holy! Lord, forgive us, for they know not what I do. So people...
It's just Facebook. It's just that the Facebook went off. So we just have to continue.
So the wound of rejection... I mean, Lisa, what's her name?
Lise
Bobo.
Bobo. Yes.
It's not spelled like that. It starts at the conception, and between the ages of 6 years old, the ego characteristics is they're shifty. This person doesn't feel that they even have the right to exist, according to her.
Right. Okay. So before we go there, though, should we a little bit talk about what is a thesis and where it comes?
Yes, you're. Yes.
I think it will be just make it a bit easier.
Sure.
So she's why I say it's not the truth, and I'm sure the audience will understand that. So which is not, it's a good vision. I mean, I think it's a good way of thinking about life, but it's a bit stretched. Well, for example, she says that before we are born, we have an inner God.
Yes.
Okay, and this inner God attracts our soul to the environment and to the family we will need during the lifetime. So she believes
to heal that wound.
Exactly. So she believes in incarnation.
Yes.
And then she says that we choose the family where we're going. We choose. So and that's important to know that, because that's the wish is going to say we cannot blame the family that we have. We cannot blame our parents because we chose them.
Yes.
Right? So this part for me is a bit stretched, and I don't buy into it. But I still find it interesting to think that even if we have our parents, whether we chose them or not, that's not really important. What is important is continuing to blame life, our family, and our parents for what we're going through doesn't help us to move forward, and doesn't help us to relate with anyone, doesn't make us feel like we belong in the world. So that's...
Yeah, and I agree with you, especially when I was like, really? We choose our parents before we were even born? But as I get into the world, as I become more into the world, I see that birds of a feather flock together, so to speak. So the people who carry these same wounds are the people who wear these same masks. Okay.
We attract each other?
Yes.
So what attract? Is there a specific wound that attracted me to you, or is there?
It could be.
There's something like that going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing it's important to note is it's not just one. We don't necessarily just have one wound. We can have two wounds, and we can progress throughout our life to heal those wounds.
Yeah, but through life, it's hard to deal with pain.
It is.
Pain is one of our difficulties. So through life, we have many periods of many wounds, many where we get hurt, and where. So that's part of so. Whether we have these specific wounds but dealing with pain, it's certainly part of the human experience.
It is.
And that's why many of us at one point decide to look a little bit more at our life, or we need the help of a coach or some books, self-help books. It's because we suffer.
Yes.
So in that sense, her book is really interesting because it offers a way to look at life, and a way to some tools and to help us go through that. So that's good. So, according to her, Lise Barbeau, she says that our mission in life, our mission is to accept ourselves.
Yes.
To accept ourselves with what we have acquired, with our feelings, our strengths, weaknesses, desires, and our personality. So what she's saying is that when we're wounded, there's a sense of we don't accept ourselves.
Yes.
And we have to work all our life to accept ourselves more and more and more. So that's good, to learn to love ourselves. That's not a bad mission in life.
Right. And we keep attracting those people. Okay.
Until it's resolved. Until it's resolved.
So whoever, you must remember that our inability to forgive ourselves for what we have done to others is the main reason for the presence of any wound. It is difficult to forgive ourselves because we generally can't see that we blame ourselves. The greater the wound of rejection, the more you reject yourself or other people, situations, or projects. We blame others for everything we do, but don't want to see. That is why we attract people who show us what we do to others or to ourselves. I thought that was pretty profound.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is absolute and not everybody,
Yeah. Well, because I don't know if really we attract. But the thing is, if I feel rejected, for sure, every time I get into a relationship where someone does something, I'm going to perceive it as a rejection. So it's going to feel like I'm attracting that person. But maybe I didn't attract the person. It was just through life. I meet people, and it just happens that every time I have a difficulty in the relationship, it's going to be seen through the lens of rejection.
Right.
So that but yes, there's something about every time I'm going to have a conflict with someone, I'm going to go into the mode, I'm rejected.
Right.
When maybe I'm not rejected. It's my difficulty to relate to that person. But I'm wounded, and it's something that is not resolved yet. So every time I have a conflict with someone, I go into that mode.
So I'm talking for the health of it tonight, we're talking to Marlene Gaillon. We're discussing a book,
Lise Barbeau.
By Lise Barbeau. I'm loosely going to translate it. Healing the Wounds of the Soul.
Yeah.
Heal Your Wounds and Find Your True Self is the name of the book. So we're going to. You have one.
Yeah. So should we talk? Since we mentioned the self and our mission in life, you want us to talk about that, the self and the ego, the difference, and what does she see? So she says, again, it's not something tangible, and it's not something we can touch, but she says that we have a real self and we have an ego, which is not the real self.
Right.
So the self, our true self, she says, knows, that's the one who really knows it needs, what we need to live in love, in happiness, in harmony, in peace, health, abundance, and joy. So when we listen to our true self, we have everything needed to find happiness, joy, and etc.
Right.
Okay? So she says it's always present. Our true self is always present. Now, she says the ego, it's not our true self.
No.
The ego is like our defense mechanism.
It is our mask.
Yeah, it's what stops us. Yeah, exactly, right? What stops us from being in contact with our true self.
Yeah.
So that's is that clear?
Yeah.
You have something to add?
Yeah, and with this wound of rejection, these are some of the ego characteristics that you have. Okay.
Yeah.
It is you wear the mask of withdrawal. Or the withdrawal. You come across as I don't exist. So they're the quintessential wallflower. They do not want to be seen. They don't believe they even have the right to exist. Or they run away from reality, not attached to money or things, has low self-esteem, afraid to make mistakes. Actually, the thing that really gets me in this book, and you have your stops with it, I have stuff with my stops with it, and I mean, she says we even have. Well, she talks about the body, and their body is contracted, narrow, thin, or fragmented. They're very thin people.
Yeah, so you think I have the body of rejection, right? That's but
no, you have curves.
Well, okay, but to your just it's I don't want to confirm whatever you said, but it's true. Like it's not to make a story of it, but it's true that when I was young, I did have to go through that and deal with feeling rejected. But I still don't believe that it's true that it's because of my body.
But you don't have the eyes of a withdrawer.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, they are small, fearful, or give the impression there's a mask around them. The vocabulary of this person is that they're hopeless. They do not exist. They disappear. The characters, again, they're perfectionists, intellectual, go from deep love to deep hate, don't believe in their right to exist. They have sexual difficulties. They
don't we all?
Yes. They have the ability to make themselves invisible. Mm-hmm. She even talks about their eating habits. Their appetites can be spoilt by emotion. When they're highly emotional, they fare. They eat small portions. They escape by eating a lot of sugar, alcohol, or drugs. They're predisposed to anorexia. The possible illnesses. She goes into every woman and having their illnesses.
She has a real established theory there.
Yeah. Cancer, arrhythmia, diarrhea, skin problems, breathing problems, allergy, vomiting, fainting, coma, diabetes, depression, suicidal.
Yeah, she says it can go as far as that. No, she doesn't say that we.
No. These are absolutes because sometimes we move from you heal the wound of the withdrawer and you go on to a different wound. So I mean, is this possible?
Well, so can I talk?
Sure.
I can give an example. So for the ego and the self, for example. So let's say, I'm going to give a bit of an example of my youth. Like I hope it's okay, but
sure.
So I think my family was quite I wouldn't say violent, but there was a lot of fighting for sure. And for me, a lot of blaming and a lot of demands and a lot of everything.
Isn't every family like that?
Yeah, maybe, exactly. I mean, I survived. I love my family, but it was a bit difficult. But my way to survive was to be in my room and read and study. So I love to go to school. I love to read. I love to study. And I was so out of fashion, and I was kind of a nerd, but like an annoying nerd, not even a smart nerd. So I got rejected. People would say, they would laugh, or they would say, who does she think she is?
Yeah.
And for a good reason. So they rejected me. They were right? They were right to reject me. So my ego then, with my true self, I could have acknowledged the pain. Because I wanted to be with those people, but there was something wrong about me that I couldn't look at. But instead of like listening to the pain, it became more like, who cares? Those people, they don't know what they're talking about. They're probably just jealous. That would be like, so that was my ego.
Yes.
So
that's a good example. Yeah.
That's how the ego comes. And then you form your mask. I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I don't need them. I'm going to do my thing. I'm smarter than them. I'm just going to do my life. And then you don't realize, but like, so the mask protects you from being rejected. It protects you from feeling the hurt, but it makes you even more unhappy.
Yeah.
Because the more you wear your mask, you come at 25 and then you have no friends or you have difficulty and you don't understand. You're there asking, so how come people reject me? How come I was rejected all my life? But if I can admit the pain, then I'm going to start looking at how did it make sense that I was rejected?
Yeah.
Rather than just blaming and protecting myself and saying, no, that doesn't exist.
How did I keep putting myself in that situation? Because I think the mass of the withdrawal, the withdrawal mass, really, even if that person gets selected on a team, according to this, they set themselves up to fail. They sabotage it somehow.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like if you're like you were rejected and now you withdraw.
Yeah.
So you withdraw. There's a bit of sense of, well, I'm special.
Yeah.
I'm special. So everybody is playing in the sand there, like in the sandbox, but you are a bit special, so you're behind.
Terminal uniqueness is what I call it.
Okay. Well, that's a good term. So you're a bit special. You don't play, and then you're there. So you realize your prophecy, because obviously you're not going to be more included. You're going to be more rejected.
Right.
And then you say, well, people don't like me. People reject me. People don't. In fact, people don't reject us. We exclude ourselves.
Right.
So but for ourselves, it's like, oh my God, I'm excluded. Right. Of course, when we talk about that, we're talking about like pretty minor things that happen when you're young. We're not talking about trauma, or I don't want to minimize. Like sometimes like there's exclusion that is it's not always your doing.
Yes.
But like it does. We're talking about the times then when it is our own doing and we don't realize it.
Well,
right?
According to her, the wound of rejection is. It can be from conception. So you are born and your mother rejects you, or it could be from I didn't want a daughter, I wanted a son.
Yeah.
And it's from the parents of the same sex.
Yeah, that's what she says.
Yeah.
So and it does make sense. I do see people and then they feel rejected. They feel rejected by their mother. Like women feel rejected by their mother, and then the father usually would be someone who protects them.
Yeah.
So the father doesn't even help them healing the wound, because he comes to the rescue of the child, making them believe that yes, you're right, you are rejected, rather than looking at yourself.
So, believe it or not, Marlene, we're coming to the end.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So next week,
quickly.
Yes. Next week we're going to be talking about the wounds of abandonment,
humiliation, betrayal, and injustice are the four more wounds that she talks about, and so we're going to mention them a little bit more.
But we want to talk a little bit about how we can heal these wounds, and the first step is
acknowledgement.
Yes,
but you need to feel them. That's the difficulty.
Yes.
To feel the pain.
Yeah. And I remember when you and I were discussing this on Tuesday on my birthday. No, was it my birthday? Anyway, you said...
That's what you said.
You said very calmly, it is when we are coming up with these feelings, it is... We should accept them. We should really...
They're precious. I was talking to you because we sometimes we have negative feelings, what we call them. I'm going to quote them, negative feelings. But all those feelings are very precious. They talk to you about something. So usually we are there trying to... we want to put them down, like use the word deny them, not listening to them.
Right.
If we make room for them, that's when we can make sense more of our experience. It's really like they're talking to us. All these feelings are very precious.
So it's acknowledging them. That's step one. Step two is feeling these wonderful feelings of hell. And then...
accept stop believing that what happens to us is the fault of others.
Yes.
So like accept feel our feeling our like the wounds, the pain, and then not judge it.
Right.
Accept that those stop blaming and not judge ourselves, never even for blaming.
Right.
And then admitting to ourselves that, like, trying to make sense of our experience and see, like, in what way do I contribute to that?
Yeah, look at the different Mass and how you went through that day. Journal how you felt and forgive yourself. Compassion, I believe.
Yeah. Well, so through that process, because, like, one day I realized that, like, when I, like, this thing about being rejected, and, like, I realized how I positioned myself, and, like, I would be belittling people. So that's kind of, but the day you see that,
yes,
like, I wanted to be in the closet for 2 weeks. It's like, I was so ashamed. But then it's like, you cannot judge yourself. It's because it's the way you survived.
Yeah.
Whatever we are today, as annoying or nice we are, it's the way we survived from our childhood to now. Okay. And so we can never judge ourselves.
Sorry, Marlene.
No, I have to go.
We've reached the end of it. And thank you all for listening to For the Health of It, Healing the Wounds of the Soul with myself, Tara Bush, and psychotherapist Marlene Gaillon. Join us next week. Thank you again for the health of it. We are taking you to the life you want.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
We believe that every life matters, and we are all connected. One community, one people.
No matter where you live, Holy Cross Hospital of South Florida is breaking down the borders that should not exist in advanced healthcare.
At Holy Cross Hospital, we have opened our doors to the world, bringing you exceptional healthcare.
The multicultural staff features doctors and nurses providing top quality, compassionate healthcare while making patients feel at home.
Our Holy Cross International Services team provides guidance to patients and their families throughout their travel, accommodations, and recovery.
Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Your trusted health partner for life.
Learn more about Holy Cross Hospital. Email international@holy-cross.com or call 954-351-5906.
Live with pride. Live strong. Live with love. Live with hope. Live long. And be the best you can be.
The science doesn't lie. The key to achieving your health goals is through the proper knowledge of nutrition.
From moms to babies, kids to seniors, vegan to pro performance and wellness, GNC sets the standards in nutritional science.
Their experienced team of professionals are ready to support you in achieving your goals with 2 convenient locations in Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah and Queens Court on West Bay Road.
And join the GNC community and take advantage of their discount days, the first 7 business days of every month and every Wednesday.
Take control of your health and body today with GNC.
Believe in the power of nutrition.
Live well, GNC.
The Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, CICSA, is an association that brings all government employees together at the workplace, social events, and in matters of concern common to all civil servants. For more information on how you can become a member or to read our story, visit us on www.cicsa.ky or on facebook.com/cicsa.ky. CICSA, connecting, informing, and engaging our membership.
For the Health of It, Radio Cayman's premier health show was brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, Holy Cross Hospital, and GNC.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush. For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.
You're listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Our regularly scheduled programming will not be heard this evening. Instead, we present proceedings of the Legislative Assembly of the Cayman Islands. We have the proceedings from the June 7th session, and we now can start at that point.